Most definitely, it's well deserved, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what gave you that work ethic?
I always had it. Like growing up, you know, I guess it developed from when, you know, mom and dad didn't have it.
Okay.
So I went and got it myself. I remember like way back, we talking about maybe like 15 years ago, that I was like selling candy.
I did that in high school.
Just to not, you know, fool around with the free lunch. You know what I'm saying? And then that side hustle turned into
free lunch.
The free lunch was lit.
You
but
want
then,
the free lunch,
bro? When your pizza is cold with the cheese on it and the oil is shiny, but the pizza's still cold.
Yeah,
you want a little bit better.
Of pizza days. It was like the real pizza day with the pizza, and then it was that knockoff square shit that they had.
The knockoff square shit was consistent. Now I didn't want that. So I started, you know, saving my money and everything. And then when my dad said, okay, you can start driving your car around and stuff, I said, okay, cool. Now I got to put gas in it. And I'm like, okay, I can't ask my mom, can I borrow $5 every morning to get gas? No, you got to start putting gas in it yourself. So, you know, I was doing that just to function, to consider myself to be a functioning adult. But, you know, I've always had it, you know, and then I just took some of them talents with me when I started going to UT, just to make sure that I had a little bit of money in my pocket. I was never someone who was balling, but I never really had to ask anybody for anything.
What did you go to UT for? Because I remember your brother played tennis for UT, right?
Yeah, he was. I went to school based off of the brains itself, so I was going to go to school for academics. I did go, and my intention was to go for mechanical engineering.
Okay.
And it didn't work out that way.
Ironically, it was my first major too. That's what I wanted to do, mechanical engineering. I want to build like roller coasters and stuff like that.
Yours was roller coasters. Mine was the car for the tall man.
Okay.
I kid you not. And that was my intention. I was going to go to mechanical engineering school to start working with, you know, like General Motors and Ford and all that, just to see, hey, everybody is not 5'5". Yeah. I'm 6'10", 350. I need something that I can ride in.
And I'm 6'5", 240. Like, so, I know, it's a struggle.
Big struggle. So, you know, I was trying to do that for the tall person, but, you know, it just didn't work out that way. And just changed, you know, I just switched lanes and I just kept it going.
Of course. Always keep on pushing.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's because I figured that you might have went to UT, like, because I remember you used to hang out with a lot of people that went to UT that I used to hang out with too and stuff like that. Yeah. And so, so I used to see you around and stuff, and I'm like, he got to go to UT. And then at the time, my ex at the time, she knew you because she was like a leasing agent or something like that. So, and so like she told me about your brother playing tennis and stuff, and I used to always wonder. I was like, Billy is tall as hell. He could be on somebody field court or something. Yeah. But I'm glad you went to school for brains though instead, you know?
Yeah. I mean, to say that I didn't play any sports would be a whole lie. I used to hoop. I used to be a tennis player because my dad was the coach, so you know, free lessons.
Oh, okay.
One thing about that though is like I just didn't have the competition. I didn't have a competitive edge. I was all recreation. Never really was into the competition. So I would definitely play it for the fun of it, not for the I gotta win so you lose type deal. Yeah. So
that's like the complete opposite of me. I'm so competitive at everything I do.
Yeah.
So. Like excuse me, I got a little chest cold. All this weather change is like it's throwing me off, man. But I'm trying to eat my cough drops and stuff and stay on top, brother.
The Ricolas are the strongest.
Yeah.
They're the strongest.
But so you came down here for school.
Yep.
Originally you wanted to be a mechanical engineer. School didn't work out for you. Then so you tried to find another hustle, another path to get on.
Yes.
You started cutting hair, and then you found the turntables and stuff.
Yep.
You found people who were already heavily involved in it to kind of guide you and stuff like that.
Yes.
And so now we here. I listened to the mixtape a few times. It jammed, bro. Like if I'm going out or something like that or whatever, it's a quick little pop in. I ain't gotta keep on hitting, like trying to find the right song or something. The whole thing is just hitting.
That's the intention, man. For my mixtapes, man. I just definitely wanted to be a press play and just going about your day. Yeah,
and that's exactly what it is.
And I wanted that for every project that I had coming out. I even for this one, My Bad Too. That's the most recent one.
Yeah.
Sorry. That I just wanted to just basically have like a little bit of a nostalgia from what the mixtapes was like back in 2007, 2008.
Okay.
So I added my
the
little
Weezy era, huh?
Yeah, you know, the bringbacks of like DJ Holiday, DJ Scream, all those cats when they didn't have facial hair.
Talk about it, man.
You know, because now, you know, most of the mixtapes is just a compilation of music that they couldn't put on an album, and they just like, well, shit, y'all gonna listen to it anyway because of who I am.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say, okay, if you hear this, you hear something new, you hear something like, okay, I've heard this before, and like, wow, I completely forgot about it. So that's what I want to do with my projects from here on out, because there's another one I'm gonna be dropping in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and it's gonna be one that's gonna have a little bit of what you hear now, what you completely skipped over, and some new exposure that probably a lot of people will be more along the lines of, I never heard this song before, I never heard this artist before.
Do you got your own artists on there, or?
Well, I got a couple of comrades that I rock with, and some of their stuff will be on my projects, especially if I give them some advice to help them make it better. That's one thing that I take seriously with the music, is that you have to have quality. Just because you found a mic and just found a beat that you probably bought or rented or whatever, it has to fit. If it don't fit, then that's how it gets lost. Yeah. So you got to believe in it like a tattoo, because it's gonna stick with you forever.
And you know I'm full of tattoos, so I gotta believe, goddamn.
Facts.
Shoot.
Facts.
That's what's up, though, man. Like, and that was dropping. You said like what, like a month or so?
In about a month, yeah.
You already got a name for it?
It's a part of the series that I've always had. It's called it's gonna be called Watch the Horns, but it's gonna be a different. It's gonna be like a different. It's almost like how you have the colon, Watch the Horns colon. I don't have the second part for the mixtape yet, but I have been playing around with a couple of names. One of them is For the Summer, and another one will probably be Shoot Here It Is.
Shoot Here It Is.
Yeah, Shoot Here It Is.
I actually like that though.
Yeah. So yeah.
Man, I'm so sick of this call.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But that's dope though, bro. Like, I'll definitely be on the lookout for it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and as soon as it come in, man, just let me know where I can go find it, go get it.
Will do.
Yeah. So you said the work ethic came from your family, and you want to just get it, and you seeing stuff that you wanted, and you found a means and a way to go accomplish that. Yes. Which is something that I try and like talk to people about a lot. Yes. Especially kids. I coach from time to time, you know, like I coach AAU basketball and stuff like that. Okay. And like down at the Y, help out and stuff. So when I'm talking to kids, like about work ethic, like one thing I see, like especially in AAU basketball, I see a lot of kids who feel like privileged to like I'm supposed to be good, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm supposed to get these buckets, or like what I try and tell them all, I don't care how good you think you are, it's always somebody out there working harder than you. If you don't put the work in like you doing, sir, yes, then you not gonna reap those fruit unless you just some rich kid that came and mom and daddy give you everything. But for the most of us that ain't in that 1%, the other 99%, you gonna have to go grind. Right. And like I said earlier, following you over the years and seeing you move the way you move and stuff, it's always the right way. I ain't never seen you like in no type of just petty beefs or nothing, man. All I do every time I see you, man, you pleasant to talk to. You always upbeat about stuff. Thank you. And you always on a mission to go do your next job or your next hustle or something. Yes. And I wish all these kids had that out there, because that's what it's gonna take to really get it and really be successful, you know? Right, so, right. And even if it's something like basketball, I'll be trying to tell them like the fundamentals, like you had to cut on them turntables many hours, you know what I mean? Like practicing on your scratching, on your mixing, on the fade in, on all that. Like you gotta work on your timing, everything. Yes. And if you don't put that work in, it's gonna show. Of course. So when you go to an AAU tournament, you lose by 20 to a team that's the same height as you. They got, excuse me, they got about the same speed as you and everything, and you getting blown out by 20. It's the reason because of that. Right. They are working you. They got better fundamentals. They got better drive. Right. they wanted it more.
Exactly.
And so, in a world full of billions of people, it's gonna be some people left behind. You don't want to be that one left behind because you ain't got the work ethic for it. Because that's one thing you're gonna regret, not putting in that work while you're young and you can.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I would say that when it comes down to it, like with the work ethic and both of my hustles, it's gonna sound a little weird when I say this, but I've never stopped thinking about one of those things. There's been times where I've thought about, how can I make a fade? Like, how can I make a haircut faster? Or how can I do a quick cut? There's about 7 songs out right now that are consistently in rotation. I can tell you right now how I can make all 7 of them songs work all together. Just with the DJ stuff. But there was a time where that mentality, that thought process did not happen that fast.
It comes with repetition.
Yes.
Yeah.
At first, there's 24 hours in a day.
Yes, sir.
When I first started DJing, I mixed about 15 of those. I kid you not, 15 hours out of 24.
Yeah.
If you do the math, that means you only get 9 hours of sleep.
If that.
Yeah. But I didn't sleep that much. So I would probably lay down, get up, lay down, get up. This was like for the first maybe year and a half. Then when I started to understand it, as I kept calculating the brains and things like that, I started making my counts. I used to start doing